So I'm back with another video. So check me out here, man. I got cradles, the rear cradles. I got an extra cradle for the next HellCat build. Got a couple of Challenger interior parts. But yeah, man, that's pretty much what's going on this build. So I got this shell from IAA for $600. Yeah, man, they basically gave it to me. So I went ahead and bought some cradles on Facebook Marketplace. I got both cradles for $1,000. So it came with the rack and pin, rear end, and everything. So it's basically a roller at this point. So I had about $1,600 with both cradles. I ended up having extra little parts, extra motor mounts, and things of that nature. So I was able to sell a couple of older parts off and to even that balance out. So I was about around $1,500, between $1,000 and $1,500 as it was a roller. In the meantime, I had to go ahead and invest into a donor car, which was about $6,500. But that put me at about $8,000. But like I said, I have a lot of extra parts that I probably can sell off. Once I did my calculation on the donor car, that left me with a lot of extra parts. So I had about $2,000 or $3,000 extra in parts. So yeah, man, that's gonna bring the balance down to maybe $4,000 or $5,000. So I should have the whole car complete when it's all said and done for about around $5,000 to $6,000. Believe it or not, I'll have a running Scatpack for about $5,000 or $6,000. This will be 2022. Once I'm done, it will be the wide body. So to be able to have a running Scatpack wide body for $5,000 or $6,000, this is gonna be a big payday. I should be able to at least triple my money on this. So stay tuned. This is the part 1 of the video. Part 2 will be actually running and driving and things of that nature. So yeah, y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna let y'all check the rest of this video out to see the step-by-step progress. All right, y'all stay tuned. So yeah, it was a lot of squeaking going on. Y'all gotta forgive me about that. But I'm back. A few more things I wanted to mention. I had to go ahead and clean this whole inside out. I had to pressure wash it, get all the plugs out, and clean it out real good. I had a couple wiring harnesses for the motor that they ended up cutting, so I had to take all those wiring harnesses out. Remove the rear glass, and I also, because it was basically shattered everywhere, to get all from having glass everywhere, I had to remove the rear glass. So right here's the rear cradle that I'm about to show y'all that I'm going to install. It's a complete cradle, has the 309 rear end. So by me having the donor car, I have an extra rear cradle. So now I have 3 rear cradles. So that's what I'm trying to tell you about how I spent $1,000 for these 2. But I have 3 cradles, so I have 2 left over that I can easily make my money back. Alright, so this is me installing the cradle. I like to put it on a motor horse because it's just me, and I like to have it sitting up on a trailer, so it's kind of leveled and not all the way on the ground. I don't really like getting all the way on the ground, so I put it on the trailer. So here I'm going to show you how I do it. I basically line it up. I take the wheel off, and then I just, basically push it in to where it lines up. So once it's lined up, I just put the bolts in. I also take the driver's side shock off. That way you can slide it all the way over. and I don't put the springs in until after everything is lined up. Then I put the springs in, and then that's when I bolt everything down. So, guys, check this out. Check my progress out. Guys, you can do this in your driveway by yourself. You don't really need any help. I'm showing you the at-home, do-it-yourself process here. All you would need is your motor hoist. I prefer to do it on the trailer, but you don't have to do it on the trailer. Yeah, you can basically build these cars on your own with no help. So tune in, check out the process, and hey, put some notes in so for when you're able to do it yourself, you know exactly what to do. All right, get back to you. Alright guys, we're at stage 2 or 3 of the project. Got the trunk on, got the fenders on. I still gotta do the rear flares, but it's coming together. I also cut out the window because it was dangerous. It would cut you up, so I had to go ahead and trim that out. I'm gonna put this glass in. May have a window guy come in and do it. But here's the parts car. Interior is the cloth interior. I probably switched that out, but there it is. Still gotta put the interior in this one. Do have a good dashboard in there. That came out as a good saver. So yeah, here we are. I would say stage 2 going on 3. Once I put the engine in, I would say that's stage 3 going on 4. But yeah. Yeah, we gotta get this engine out. This bad boy's got part out this door, both of the doors. This rear knuckle was crushed, so it's not gonna be straight. So yeah, this is where we're at. Definitely gotta take this engine out. So that'll be what I'm doing next, is pulling all the engine stuff out. Alright, I'll get back with y'all in a minute. Alright, so we in the motor strip down process. I basically take all the wiring harnesses and move it to the side. Put it like over here. Take all the coolant lines off. I obviously take the radiator off, and then I want to take the impact bar off. Some people drop the cradle, but I need this car to roll back onto the trailer, so I'm just going to snatch the motor out like this. As you can see, this side was hit pretty hard, and right here, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just park this thing out. Another thing, this harness for the motor, you don't have to take the motor harness off. You just unplug it right here. It disconnects, and then you can just pull the motor out and leave the motor harness on. Alright, I'll get back with y'all in a minute. So we're gonna put everything onto this car. This is the donor car. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so we're under the car. First thing I do when I take the motor out is I go ahead and take the Cadillac converters off. You can take it off from the back here in 13 millimeter. You can just loosen up these two bolts right there, and then there's 5/8 at the manifold, and you have to unplug the O2 sensor. If not, you will have to end up replacing them. So unplug them before you do that. Loosen up the transmission bolts. Here you already got 2 loose, and then you're gonna need a T45 to unloosen the drive shaft. But before you unloosen the drive shaft, I recommend finish taking this exhaust off. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this exhaust off all the way to the back, drop it down. Then you're gonna have access to the drive shaft at the transmission here. And you loosen it up there, and you can loosen it up here at the rear end. Then you can drop the drive shaft, and then at that point you can drop the transmission bolts. You can get a transmission jack to hold it, and then you'll be ready to take the engine out. Alright, so I'll be back once I get this exhaust here removed, and when I'm heading to go ahead and do the drive shaft. Alright, at this point the drive shaft is exposed. You drop the exhaust with this. It's a 13 millimeter on each side, and unhook the active exhaust plugs. As you can see, they're hanging. At that point, it'll drop because the front part of the exhaust has already been taken off here. So it'll just drop down, exposing you to the drive shaft T45 bolts. And then you can take the drive shaft off. And then you have to take these 13 millimeters off once you do the front and back, and then the whole drive shaft will drop. At that point, the motor will be good to take out, but I'm personally doing a whole swap, so I'm gonna go ahead and get everything taken off here. That way I can actually be able to take the whole car apart. But at this point, we will be clear to take the motor out. So all you have to do is just take these 13 millimeter bolts at the cross member, which I already have 2 already loose. And once you take that down, I will support this here with a transmission lifter, so that way it doesn't come all the way down hard, and you can adjust it what height you want it on the transmission lifter. But you don't have to do that. It's just something I would do. So yeah, this is where you're at. This is a 2-piece exhaust. Alright, I'll be back with y'all in a minute. Alright, so the next day we got the motor out of this car.
The last video you seen that I had the last few steps. I wasn't able to record me taking it out because I'm the only one, but I gave you the steps on how I did it. And I was able to take this out, put it on the jack stand, the motor hoist. Now I got it ready to go into this car. A few ways I'm able to do it by myself is I got a leveler here. This allows me just to do it on my own and keeping the engine level as I'm putting it in. So all I gotta do at this point is just push it back in, put it on the mounts, and we're ready to go. So the motor process of taking this out and putting in here is pretty much all complete. So after this, I will be done. All right. So yeah, the thing got caught onto this and broke that. That's my luck. It shouldn't be too big of a issue, but hell, everything costs money. All right, guys, so this is part 1 of my build. I will have another part 2 coming. I have to do some more recording. So the part 2, you will see me, adding the wide body kit, adding the interior, showing you the running vehicle, putting the final touches on the build. So guys, stay tuned, like, share, subscribe, follow the process, follow the channel. Let's grow together. And hey, if y'all need any pointers, any tips, y'all can text me, DM me. Until the next one, peace.